So the 2020 MLB season is officially over, and because the 2020 season's over, it now means that we're starting to talk about 2021 plans, teams, players, and specifically in today's video, free agents. Yes, the start of the 2021 season has officially begun. Free agents are on the market, and in a couple days, I think you're going to be allowed to start signing players. So before players sign with teams, let's go ahead, give you my top 10 free agents available on the market in 2021. There's a really good class, a lot of great players. I'm sure you've heard a lot about Rao Mutu, Trevor Bauer. Where are they going to fall on my list? You're going to have to see to find out. As always, if you guys do enjoy this video and you want me to do a video predicting where every single free agent signs in the 2021 offseason, make sure to drop a like. 3,000 likes, I'll get that video to you this weekend. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and you enjoy the content. There's a bunch of you ain't subscribed. Just click that button. It's free. Sub to the channel. Get down in the comment section below. Let me know what you think about my rankings. If there's someone I left off or someone I put a little bit too high, I want to see what you guys have to say. And also make sure you drop me a follow on Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, second channel. Links are always in the description as always to all my social media. Also, I want to give a quick shout out to today's sponsor, Auction of Champions. Auction of Champions is the #1 online auction house that you guys need to check out. I've done stuff with them in the past, but I'll give you the same thing that I told you before. You like sports memorabilia, you liked autographed jerseys, hats, helmets, bats, balls, cards, whatever you want for your sports memorabilia needs. They constantly have auctions that you can bid on, grab memorabilia of some of your favorite players, guys like Bob Gibson, Albert Pujols, Mickey Mantle, Mariano Rivera, just to name a few. Auction of Champions is also still running the personalized GiraffeNeckMarc mystery ball promo. For $59.99, you get a random signed mystery ball sent. You have the chance to get a signed ball from a guy like Ken Griffey Jr., Yogi Berra, Fernando Tatis. AuctionofChampions.com, the #1 spot for you to get your sports memorabilia. Links are in the description. Go check them out. As a last minute addition, we've got Charlie Morton, whose option wasn't picked up by the Rays today. Now, I don't necessarily know where the top 10 he falls in, but he probably should be at least mentioned in today's video. From 2017 to 2019, he had a 3.24 ERA with a whip at 1.141. I mean, that's absolutely filthy, striking out almost 11 batters per 9 innings, not giving up a lot of hits, not giving up a lot of walks, and he doesn't give up the long ball. Now, 2020 was a little bit of a different story. Only made 9 starts, 4.74 ERA, and his whip was higher. He wasn't the same pitcher, but for a 1-year deal, you'll probably be able to get a lot out of him in that season. He still is talented. He's still a good pitcher, and he's not going to cost you a lot. So I guess number 11 for Charlie Morton. Just had to add him in last second here because the Rays didn't pick up his option today. At the number 10 spot, we've got the 40-year-old DH from the Dominican Republic, Nelson Cruz. Now, you might be wondering, how does a 40-year-old DH get in the top 10 free agents video? Well, this 40-year-old has not slowed down his production. Since 2015, he has a 933 OPS, which includes a 1031 OPS in 2019 and a 992 in 2020. He hit 16 homers, 33 RBIs, 303 average, 397 on base, 595 slugging. I mean, Nelson Cruz is the Justin Verlander of hitting. Like a fine wine, he seems to get better with age, having a phenomenal season in 2020 in a short year. I think he comes back, and whatever team gets him, he's gonna produce. If he can hit Minnesota, he can hit in Seattle, he can hit anywhere. Nelson Cruz, number 10. At the number 9 spot, we're gonna go to the pitching side here, talk about right-handed pitcher, formerly of the New York Mets and Blue Jays, Marcus Shroman. Now, Shroman did not pitch in 2020, had an injury, and then he eventually opted out of the season due to coronavirus. But based on the previous years that we've seen of him, including 2019, he is a good pitcher and he's gonna get paid, or at least he should get paid. For his career, 6 years, 3.76 ERA, which is very solid with a 1.29 whip. You take a look at his numbers from 2019, had a 3.22 ERA, can pitch in the American League East, which typically is one of the tougher divisions in baseball, and he has had success there. He finished as high as 8th in the Cy Young voting in his career. Not a high strikeout guy, not a high walk guy. He's very much a control pitcher, and he gets outs, he can eat some innings. As long as he stays healthy, Marcus Shroman can be a very solid pitcher for your rotation. He would be a perfect number 3, even maybe a number 2 on some teams. I'd love the Mets to bring him back. Shroman comes in at number 9. For the 8th best free agent of the 2021 free agent class in Major League Baseball, Michael Brantley, Houston Astros. Now, while Brantley didn't hit for much power in 2020, only 5 home runs, he still managed to have an 840 OPS on the season, following up a very strong season in Houston in 2019, where he had 875 OPS. He's not going to cost you a lot. His contract with the Astros was so affordable. He might not be that useful in the field anymore, more of a DH kind of player, but can still play the corners a bit. He's going to hit for a high average. He's going to get on base. He's going to get doubles, hit with runners in scoring position. He is a professional hitter, and at only 34 years old, yes, he's not in his prime anymore, but you can probably grab him on a very affordable contract, and he is going to produce runs at a very high level for you. One of the nicer left-handed swings in the game. Brantley comes in at number 8. Coming in at the number 7 spot of the 2021 free agents, we've got our only reliever on the list, Liam Hendrix. Liam Hendrix is hitting the market in what is looking to be pretty crowded for relievers, but it doesn't matter. This dude rises above the rest. In 2019, 1.8 ERA, whip whip under 1, and then 2020 he followed it up with an even crazier year where he won the best reliever in the American League Award, 1.78 ERA, whip at .671, like what? Striking out over 13 batters per 9, he doesn't walk anybody, doesn't give up home runs, doesn't give up hits. Liam Hendricks has been the definition of lights out the last 2 years. He has just been unhittable. Yes, he might have gotten a little bit of help by playing in Oakland. It is a very pitcher-friendly park, but I think Liam Hendricks has the ability to pitch anywhere. A lot of teams have this guy's name circled on their watch list. He is without a doubt the best reliever available on the market. You gotta throw some money at this guy. Only 31 years old, going into his 32-year-old season. The man from the land down under, I'd like him on my team. Just missing out on the top 5, coming in at number 6 is going to be Marcel Ozuna, formerly of the Atlanta Braves. Now, Ozuna kind of went under the radar last year on the free agent market. Left the Cardinals after a disappointing season and only signed a 1-year deal with the Braves. And just like they did with Josh Donaldson, the Braves got a really good player coming off a down year for 1 season, and he made quite an impact. 18 homers, which was the most in the National League, 56 RBIs, again, led the National League, 338 average, 431 on base, 636 slugging, and a 1067 OPS. Without a doubt, the best year of Marcel Ozuna's career. Arguably could be an MVP candidate. Is he more of a DH now? Probably. Doesn't have much of an arm in the outfield and doesn't play it great defensively. But if you're swinging the bat like that, he's only 29 years old, going into his 30-year-old season. You are essentially getting his prime right about now. And Marcel Ozuna, ooh, I want this guy's bat on my team. I'm sure you do too. He is a phenomenal hitter. He's back, he's healthy, and he's my number 6 free agent of the 2021 class. Getting our top 5 started at the number 5 spot, Oakland A's shortstop Marcus Semien, or, well, I should say former Oakland A's shortstop Marcus Semien, because now he's a free agent. 2019 was kind of his coming out party. At 28 years old, he finished 3rd in the MVP voting, had a massively successful year, 33 homers, 43 doubles, 892 OPS, and he played great defense. But 2020, he took a big step back. Wasn't hitting very well. A 223 average, 305 on base, 374 slugging, and a 679 OPS. We haven't seen him put up numbers this bad since he was with the Chicago White Sox in 2014. Is it something to worry about? I don't think so. This is a weird year. I still think he's incredibly talented, has a solid glove, and I think if you get him out of Oakland, those offensive numbers are going to get better. That's just how it works when you leave Oakland. He's going into his 3rd-year-old season, all-around good player. I still think he's a top 5 guy available despite having a horrible 2020. We saw what his potential can be like in 2019, and that's the player I'm banking on. Semien, top 5. Coming in at number 4, we've got former second baseman of the New York Yankees, DJ Lemehi. I fully expect the Yankees to re-sign LeMahieu, but don't be surprised if a team comes in, offers him a lot more money, and he walks. That being said, why is he in the top 4? Here's why. Well, he hits for some power, hits for average, gets on base, plays a bunch of different positions very well defensively. He's an all-around really good player. The reason I don't have him higher right now is because I don't think his ceiling is as high as some of these other players that are above him, as well as his age. That being said, he's not old, 32 years old. He's just in a weird spot for contract-wise. Like, do you give him 2 years? Do you give him 4 years? Regardless, you're going to pay this guy because he's good. A 1011 OPS in 2020, following up a 2019 where he had 893. He's clearly shown that with the Yankees, he can play in big games, play in big scenarios, play a bunch of different positions, and he can rake. DJ LeMahieu, extremely talented player. DJ LeMahieu, number 4. For the 3rd best free agent of the 2021 offseason, catcher JT Rao Mutu. JT Rao Mutu was tough to rank because he's such a phenomenal player and he's definitely the best catcher in baseball. That being said, though, he is going into his 30-year-old season, and catchers typically after 30, they tend to fall off a little bit more than some of the other guys. Plus, JT did have some injuries last year. That being said, I want him on the Mets so incredibly badly. Uncle Steve, please pay him. Now, for his numbers. At the plate, he's arguably the best hitting catcher in baseball. 20 plus homers, 30 plus doubles. He can even steal bases, hits for a decently high average, right around 275, about a 330, 340 on base, close to 500 slugging, and the last 3 years, he's put up an OPS above 820. Defensively, phenomenal. One of the best defensive catchers in baseball. Cannon of an arm, quick release, blocks, receives. He does it all well. JT Rao Mutu is the best catcher in baseball, in my opinion, and many others, and he is going to get paid this offseason. It's just a matter as to who. He is the 3rd best free agent available on the market. Catcher's important, and he's the best. Just missing out at the number 1 spot. Would have loved to put him there, but I'm going to go with Trevor Bauer as the 2nd best free agent available in 2021. Trevor Bauer had about as good of a season as you could have going into a free agency. 2020, he had a 1.73 ERA, a whip at .795, led the National League in both categories, also led the National League in ERA plus and hits per 9, 276 ERA plus, 5.1 hits per 9, striking out more batters than he ever did before at 12.3, giving up less walks, less home runs. He had a phenomenal season, and he should arguably win the Cy Young. His numbers are filthy. The reason I don't put Bauer at number 1 is because we have seen some inconsistencies in the past with his game. That being said, though, I think he's going to step through it. I think he's going to be fine, and he is going to be a huge piece for whatever team ends up signing him. They should pay him. He deserves it. Going into his 30-year-old season, you can't find a better pitcher on the market than Trevor Bauer. He's easily the number 1 arm on the market and the number 2 player. Because coming in at number 1, former center fielder of the Houston Astros, George Springer. Now, yes, I know, George Springer, cheater, Astros, trash can banging, boom, boom, boom. He still had a pretty ridiculous year in 2020, an 899 OPS. Yes, his average was down to 265, but an 899 OPS doesn't lie. Do I think he's a center fielder anymore? No, he's more more suited for right field, but you're probably going to get 2 or 3 seasons out of him in center where he will be decent. He's a good athlete. He'll cover a lot of ground. At the plate, though, phenomenal. He would have been a bigger MVP candidate last year if he played in more than 122 games, because in those 122, 39 homers, 20 doubles, 96 RBIs, and a 974 OPS. The fact they finished 7th, a little criminal, honestly. He should have been higher. As I said, this year, 899 OPS, 14 homers, 6 doubles, 32 RBIs. He's a really good player, the best leadoff hitter arguably in baseball. He's up there with, Acuna. Extremely talented. He's gonna get paid. He's gonna leave the Astros. He says he wants out of there. He's the pride of Connecticut. George Springer is the #1 player in the free agent market, in my opinion. When you compare him to Bauer, Springer can be in the lineup every day. Bauer will make a huge impact 35 times a year. When push comes to shove, I'm gonna take the bat over the pitcher, and George Springer, he's just got an elite bat as well. So incredibly good, especially in center field where you can't find a lot of offense typically. So Springer, #1 free agent in 2021. So those are my top 10 free agents in the 2021 offseason in Major League Baseball. I'd love to know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Do you agree with me? Disagree with me? What do you think? Remember to leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it. 3,000 likes, I will make a video predicting where every free agent goes this offseason. I know you guys like those. None of the last 2 years. Why not do it for a third? Subscribe to the channel so we can get closer to 200K by the end of the year. Hopefully hit it. And follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, second channel, links in the description. We're starting to post on all that stuff again. Your boy needs to get on the grind, and I think that's what's going to get me there. So yeah, those are my top 10 players. Thank you guys so much for watching. You know the drill from here on out. YouTube recommends you watch this video right here, as well as this is my most recent upload. So click through those if you have not yet seen them. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow for another video. Bye.